11th March, 1997. 2 days before the Rashtriya Indian Military College, or RIMC, one of the oldest public schools in the country, celebrates its Platinum Jubilee. As you enter the portals of this great institution, you can feel the nostalgia that pervades the air. But this is not simply an occasion to celebrate 75 years of the past. It is also a place where the future is happening. You can see it in the young faces of the cadets who wait to welcome the guests on this historic occasion. Among them are those who have passed out, the old boys, Rimkolians as they call themselves, and with them, their families. Apart from a warm feeling of nostalgia, there is something else in the air too. It is a question that is put in many different ways. The question being, what is the RIMC tradition? What is the Rimkolian spirit? We hope that rubbing shoulders with young and old Rimkolians will answer this question in the next 3 days. First of all, we must go back over the last 7 decades, back to the origins. The RIMC was inaugurated on 13th of March, 1922, by His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales at Dehradun. It was then known as the Prince of Wales Royal Indian Military College. Before this, the same site was occupied by the Imperial Cadet College, or Rajwada Camp, which was founded by the then Viceroy, Lord Curzon, in 1901. The Rajwada Camp, as the name goes, was a place where the young princes of Indian states received military training. The RIMC campus is thus almost a century old. The Imperial Cadet College was disbanded in 1914 at the outbreak of World War I. After the war, the then Commander-in-Chief, Lord Rawlinson, came up with the idea of starting an institution that would train young boys for admission in the training establishment in England. On 13th of March 1922, the Prince of Wales set the tone for RIMC in these words. From my own experience, I may say that it is the first few blows on the anvil of life that give the human weapon the set and temper which carries it through life's battles. I trust that those who are responsible for the administration of this college will keep before them not only the ideals of the public schools of England, but also foster and maintain the fine old Indian spirit of mutual reverence that bound the Guru and Chela. With all the changes, RIMC has stuck to these words. The great watershed in the history of RIMC was 1947, when India won independence. Almost overnight, it became India's own answer to the great training institution of England and other Western countries. The words Royal Indian were naturally dropped from its name, and it became the Prince of Wales Military College. In 1955, again the name of the school was changed to Sainik School. After several attempts at renaming, the college finally acquired its present name, Rashtriya Indian Military College, in 1959. The initials thus remained the same. The college motto of Ik Dien, or I serve, was replaced by Bal and Vivek, or strength and wisdom. The college crest changed its ostrich feathers to that of the peacock, our national bird. The peacock, in its association with the goddess Saraswati and the god Kartikeya, symbolizes both wisdom as well as valor. As you take a walk around the campus, you notice another distinguishing mark of the institution, the architecture. Probably nowhere else in the country do we have such a large expanse of Tudor architecture on display. The Thimaya Gate, an addition made in 1972, the Golden Jubilee year. The same year, a Martyrs Memorial was constructed in the school, both funded by the Old Boys Association. In 1982, the college celebrated its Diamond Jubilee. As we traverse through the Golden and the Diamond Jubilees and reach the present, our feet feel lighter. Generation after generation of cadets have traversed these corridors and grounds. The question naturally occurs, what is it about the RIMC that has drawn young boys and their parents to the school?
From my childhood wanted to join defense forces. So this RIMC is also the feeder of NDA. My father's friend was in army. He told about that RIMC. He told that this is a good institution, you can start from here. They will provide you all things which you will get in NDA, you will get here, and then there will be no problem in NDA.
And for me, my uncle is there in defense force right now, and he has told me if you want to join defense force, you can try for RIMC. Then I feel I should try it, and actually I also from childhood I also want to join defense force. Actually, I want to join army.
Since my 7th, I was always been interested in defense. Now I met few officers and I asked them that, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. So all of them said that few RIMC colleges for that matter, sir. They told me that RIMC is a very nice place and that's one sure way you can reach to your goal.
Every year in January and July, the RIMC holds its entrance tests, followed by an interview when each state selects its own candidate for entry into the college. The candidates selected are between 12 and 13 years of age. The subjects taught to the students are English, Hindi, maths, physics, chemistry and biology, history and civics, geography, current affairs, general knowledge and crafts. This enables the student to prepare himself for the entrance test to the National Defense Academy in Pune. But it also leaves him an option to join a university in case he cannot make it to the NDA for various reasons. As early as 1932, the RIMC had already become a feeder to the Indian Military Academy at Dehradun. After independence, a cadet leaves RIMC to enter the National Defense Academy at Pune.
So that, because it's in the nature if it is dropped.
A walk around the campus and the academic building makes one thing obvious. This is no place for bookworms, where cramming is counted as a virtue. This is a place where young minds are stimulated to think freely and independently. This is a place where the young bodies are molded into activity and toughness. A young cadet learns rather early not to be a slouch.
Our boys are physically very fit. When we compare them, you can see that many of them have undertaken mountaineering expeditions. You see that where they have climbed 2 peaks of 6,000 meters, all within 5 days. The chief has given them the commendation card, and there was no fallout. All 11 boys reached both the peaks, which is a very commendable achievement for young boys. And to get at this condition, we ensure that they do their physicals after their studies. We do not let them off. If there's rain or whatever it is, the PT is never excused.
The emphasis on physical endurance at RIMC is not a matter of painful discipline. This is a place where a cadet learns to derive true joy from physical activity and adventure. It is this affinity for risk and adventure that takes him across the oceans, the barren deserts, and tallest of mountain peaks.
When I came to the RIMC, I must confess that I was a bit of a physical weakling, and I was happily surprised when in '84, they were the first mixed expedition from this country to Everest, and I was made the leader. And it was a very interesting expedition. We were quite a few from the army, and there were 7 women. And the first Indian woman, Bachandri Pal, made it to the top. And I think I owe it to the school, my fascination with mountaineering and whatever I have achieved.
Between 1985 and 1987, Old Boys Major A.K. Singh and Brigadier K.R. Rao went around the world on a 37-feet yacht named Trishna. They gifted a replica of the boat to the RIMC commandant during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The Platinum Jubilee year began in a true Rimkolian style. A group of 8 officers participated in a rally that covered the whole country in a month and a half.
Name Sadbhavna Car Rally was chosen primarily because we felt there was a great deal of rivalry within the, apart from the services, in every day and walk of life we have a large amount of rivalry. So we said we will have a inter-services car rally, and the idea would be to promote a certain feeling of friendship and brotherhood, not only amongst the services but outside in the civil field, wherever we met and whoever we met.
The final leg of the Sadbhavna rally formally ended in Dehradun, where they were received with much fanfare. On 12th March, the RIMC celebrated its Platinum Jubilee with an event in the sky, parasailing. The RIMC has a number of grounds for various sports, but squash has come to mean something special over here.
We've got a very enviable tradition as far as squash playing is concerned. The reason is that squash has been associated with the army, and we are lucky that in the school we've got a couple of squash courts, and we've had a number of good players, and you know, everything gets associated with a particular game. Though we have facilities for all games, it just happens to be that one game or 2 games become the hallmark of any institution. And squash is one which has stuck with the RIMC, and I think it will stick for some time. And I think it inspires people to get onto this game because they've got a tradition to follow.
At RIMC, the cadets' body and mind both receive equal attention. This is also obvious in the variety of hobbies promoted by the college, be it theatre, music, painting, and drawing. Journalism has always been a popular hobby at RIMC. It is not surprising that on the occasion of the Diamond Jubilee, the old boys from the school gave it a unique gift, a comprehensive and well-written history of the RIMC.
In this book, it's called The Gallantry's Tradition, we have tried to capture the spirit of RIMC, the traditions of RIMC, the Guru-Chela relationship here, which the Prince of Wales wanted to exist.
Those who look for concrete achievements made by RIMC must visit the anteroom. The rows and rows of faces belong to those Rimkolian officers who attained the rank of brigadier and above. All these elders look at the young cadets at RIMC with stern affection, reminding them of their calling. The first Indian winner of the Victoria Cross was a Rimkolian, Lieutenant General P.S. Bhagat. The first Paramveer Chakra was won by another Rimkolian, Major Somnath Sharma. RIMC's record in producing chiefs of staff is of course unique.
In India, there are 3 who made it in the army as the chief and one in the Air Force. From Pakistan, 2 air chiefs and 1 army chief. And I don't think there is any other institution in the world which has produced 7 chiefs of the armed forces, Army, Navy and Air Force.
The list of Rimkolians who received Paramveer Chakra, Veer Chakra and the 3 Sena medals is indeed very long. In 1943, when a large number of Indian officers joined the Indian National Army, many of them were Rimkolians. They were moved by the patriotic call of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. In 1961, when Goa was liberated by the Indian Army, the commander of the operation happened to be a Rimkolian, Lieutenant General K.P. Candid. In the 1965 war, 2 co-commanders on the Western Front were RIMC alumni, Lieutenant General J.S. Dhillon and Lieutenant General K.S. Katoch. In the 1971 war, 3 of the Army commanders were Rimkolians. General Bivoor of the Southern Army Command, Lieutenant General Candid of the Western Army Command, and Lieutenant General P.S. Bhagat of the Central Command. Apart from their performance during wars, the old boys have shown exemplary courage and skill in managing unrest within the country.
The comradeship and the spirit which we have developed is something which stands us in very great stead while working. I'd like to share with you that while I was in Srinagar as GOC 8 Division fighting insurgency, my corps commander was General Padmanabhan. So the tremendous spirit, the corps and the understanding amongst the 3 generals enabled us to control the insurgency in a very big way.
This place has got a kind of tradition which we just don't want to let go of. So we keep fostering it, we keep it alive. So wherever we go, even if we hadn't been the best of friends in RIMC, subsequently become very good friends when we meet.
One of the most unusual contribution of the Rimkolian bond is in the field of diplomacy. The Pakistani alumni of RIMC, who graced the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, spoke in one voice for the need of peace and friendship with India.
This is a right time that learning from our feeling of mutual brotherhood and trust in each other, our future generations should take a lesson from us and let this continuity of brotherhood continue into the next and the next generation, which are these young people who are going to be the makers of these 2 countries in the future.
It is difficult to understand the Rimkolian brotherhood without a mention of the very special teacher-student, guru-chela relationship prevalent at the college. The teachers and the instructors do everything to nourish a growing child's mind, spirit, and will. The RIMC has had a string of great principals, teachers, and commandants who are dearly loved by the cadets, even as they grow into high-ranking officers. One such legend is Mr. Hugh Catchpole, who is worshipped as a military guru in both India and Pakistan. Mr. Catchpole's affection for RIMC makes a moving story. Even as he died earlier this year, he had donated a guest house building to the college. Years ago, as a teacher who loved a game of squash, Mr. Catchpole donated a squash court to RIMC. He's no more, but his legend will never die. The teacher-student bond at RIMC will see to that.
There is a very close community contact here with the boys. I used to play with them squash. I'll teach them math, then I'll play with them. I'll call them to my house. I'll remove any their difficulty. They are free to meet the teacher anytime they feel like for removal of their difficulties and problems. So kind of a family relationship is established.
Every year on the 13th of March, the old boys congregate at RIMC with their families. It is a time for reunion and nostalgia. A more formal aspect of this brotherhood is the RIMC Old Boys Association, or ROBA, which keeps the old bonds alive and intact. Don't forget, these bonds began at the tender age of 12 or 13.
What we really learned was to share our personal difficulties, share our joys, share our grief, and it was such a close bond which we enjoyed with each other, and it has only strengthened over the years. So if I look back at the RIMC, it taught me trust in each other's friendship, to have faith in each other, and I think that has really been imbibed in my own personality, I can say, because I have reposed a lot of faith in my subordinates and colleagues in my service.
But ROBA is far from being only an annual affair. It has several regional bodies that conduct the affairs of ROBA on a local level. This particular meeting at Delhi took place on a grand occasion, the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. ROBA can indeed compliment itself for organizing this successful mega event at Dehradun. The main highlight of the Platinum Jubilee was a visit by the President of India, Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma. The President was left as deeply impressed by RIMC as our great national leaders who've been here in the past. Jawaharlal Nehru in 1948, Dr. Rajendra Prasad in 1962, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan also in 1962, and V.D. Giri in 1972, the Golden Jubilee year. On this occasion, the President released a special stamp and a first-day cover to commemorate the Platinum Jubilee of the RIMC, an honor that no other school in India has ever received. He also presented the several annual awards to the students. This was an occasion when the President suggested some changes at RIMC, since the Platinum Jubilee has brought the college at the threshold of a new century.
I would urge you to examine possibilities for expansion. Second, we must prepare to meet the challenges of the 21st century, when modern communication and information technology will influence every sphere of human life.
The facilities available at RIMC, the ratio between teachers and students, the ratio between a cadet and land area have been very conducive to a healthy growth of the child. But the new mood is that the number of cadets can be expanded without dilution in the standards. In fact, this is preferable to opening more replicas of RIMC, which may not succeed in their purpose. There are other serious issues and changes related to the RIMC and the broader question of motivating and training officers. These are being debated by the planners and thinkers in defense circles.
One should not hesitate to take up youngsters and boys who have a potential from the rural areas, who may not be as good language-wise, but which can be brought up later on. but have a potential for leadership. At the same time, which also means is that we need to perhaps change our system of selections to a certain extent. And of course, no doubting the fact that what we need to give them is a better package, which is in terms of monetary benefits, as well as the various perks and privileges. I think we should be able to attract a large number of youth into the armed forces.
But there are doubting Thomases who will not be satisfied easily. True, Dehradun, with all its natural beauty, is the right setting for a bright young man to grow in. But is it right to send a raw child away from the security of home?
My view has been that if you can pick young boys, or girls for that matter, below the age of 10, and make them world Olympic champions, say, before they are teenagers, I see no reason why you can't pick young boys and make them leader of men and soldiers.
As we go on asking questions and getting answers, the 3-day-long celebrations are already coming to an end. Time has moved fast in the last 3 days. 13th March, the gala dinner hosted by Roba is already the occasion to say, "So long, dear friend. It is time to express gratefulness." The eyes fill with tears, tears of affection and nostalgia, but also tears of pride in a grand tradition of excellence. It is also a moment when a very puzzling question finds a clear, living answer. In the end, we know what makes a true Rimkolian.
He does not go back once he gets an order with any questions. He finds means, ways, and will to complete the tasks that are given to him from time to time. That has not changed.
He doesn't fear anything. He fears nothing. To him, nothing unknown or known, it doesn't make any damn difference. That is what the whole thing is all about.
They keep setting goals for themselves, and they have a real zest for life.
One thing we don't learn here is how to be bad.
Zindagi ki chaal khelni, risk, but not for gaining money.
We love it more than too much. We love it very, very much. Something more than love.
Would like to be a soldier.